Hi, my name's Louise and I'm at San Mateo Piano. Today we're going to take a look at Kawai's different digital piano actions. So I talked a little bit about piano actions in my CA49 video, which I'll link above, but I wanted to do a full video about the piano actions so we can look at some of the differences between them and see which pianos use which actions. Before we get started, I wanted to go over some background and some key terms. When you press a key, there's a mechanism that is responsible for making the piano play. This mechanism performs to different degrees based on its design. The action refers to how the key moves when you press and release it. In an acoustic piano, when you press a key, the key triggers the hammer to strike the string, which produces the sound that you hear. When you press a key on a digital piano, the movement of the hammer triggers the sensor, and the sensor sends a signal to produce the sound. First, we're going to look at Kawai's plastic key actions. Here we have the responsive hammer compact action, also known as the RHC. This is the most basic plastic key action. It's found in the ES110 and the KDP70. It has a compact length key and a matte key surface. I would refer to this action as semi-weighted, as it's designed to be lighter for the portable nature of the ES110 and the KDP70. Also, if you're going to be purchasing a piano that is at a lower price point, like both of the models I mentioned, the price is reflective of a more basic piano action. Next, we have the RH3, or the responsive hammer 3 action. This is found in the CN29, CN39, ES8, MP7 SE, and the new DG30. The KDP 110 uses the RH2, which is the predecessor to this model. This type of plastic key action is used across brands, but just under different names. The key's pivot point is near the very back of the key. If you need to play towards the back of the key, you need to use more pressure to press it. What we'll notice from the RHC to the RH3 is that the RH3 has an upgraded ivory touch coating, as well as a more complex action. One other thing they'll mention is that starting at the RH3, all of Kawai's actions have a triple sensor. In simple terms, this means that the key has the capability to repeat notes with very minimal motion. The triple sensor means that the action has 3 sensors to detect this rapid motion. Now we're going to move on to Kawai's wooden key actions. Here's the Grand Feel Compact action, or the GFC. This is found in the new CA49 and the CA59. As the name suggests, this key stick is shorter or more compact than the Grand Feel 3 action, which we'll move on to in a moment. What's important to note about the wooden key actions is that the key stick is significantly longer than a standard weighted plastic key action. Having a longer key stick creates a more consistent touch weight as you press higher on the key. Here you'll see that the pivot point is in the center of the key stick, creating a seesaw motion when you press on the key. As you press down, the opposite end of the key lifts up to trigger the hammer. The hammer then triggers the sensor to produce the sound that you hear. The key stick sits on a balance rail to help stabilize this motion. Now we're going to move on to the Grand Feel actions. The biggest things that you'll probably notice between the Grand Feel Compact and the Grand Feel actions is that the Grand Feel action is significantly longer. We also notice that there's a different key coding. The newest Grand Feel action is the Grand Feel 3. Unfortunately, I just have the Grand Feel 2 action today, but I think this will still serve some of our purposes when looking at it. The MP11 SE uses the original Grand Feel action. The CA78 and 98 use the Grand Feel 2 action, and now the new CA79 and the 99 use the Grand Feel 3 action. Compared to the GF2, the GF3 is approximately 0.5 inches longer, which allows it to play more evenly as you move closer to the fallboard. Along with this, the GF3 also has improved repetition, meaning that you can repeat the notes faster than you could on the GF2. So why does any of this matter? On most instruments, your technique affects the tone that is produced, but on a piano, the action is important because it's responsible for interpreting how you play it. Various factors, including the weight of the keys and the length of the key stick, affect how the piano responds to touch. So that's why you may hear people talking about how the piano feels or how it responds to them playing it. All of this being said, I hope this video has been helpful and informative, and I'm happy to answer any more questions you may have down in the comments. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.